Good morning, my dear students. I hope you all are fine. In today's class, we are going to start a new chapter of history. Chapter 4, The Mughal Empire. India in the 16th century presented a picture of political disunity and disarray. The Delhi Sultanate had shrunk in size and power, with several regions breaking free from its control. Babur, who ruled from 1526 to 1530, was the first Mughal emperor who became the ruler of Old Delhi by defeating Ibrahim Lodi at Panipat in 1526. From the latter half of the 16th century, the Mughals expanded their kingdom from Agra and Delhi until in the 17th century they controlled nearly all of the subcontinent. The legacy left by them stands unparalleled. It means the Mughal Empire in India lasted from the 16th to mid 19th century, that is for around 250 years. In the course of these 250 years, the Mughal expanded their empire to cover almost the whole of the Indian subcontinent and left a permanent mark on the society, culture, art, and architecture of India. Now let's move on to the timeline. You can see the timeline of the Mughal Empire. It started from the rule of Babur. He ruled from 1526 till 1530. Then Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and the rule of Aurangzeb. He was the last powerful Mughal ruler. His rule was from 1658 till 1707. Now let's discuss about the arrival of Babur and foundation of Mughal Empire. Who were Mughals? The Mughals were descendants of two great lineages of rulers. From their mother's side, they were descendants of Genghis Khan, and from father's side, they were the descendants of Timur. Babur was invited by Rana Sanga and Daulat Khan Lodi to invade India. Let's start with First Battle of Panipat and establishment of Mughal Empire. Babur, the first Mughal emperor, captured Delhi in 1526 by defeating Ibrahim Lodi in the Battle of Panipat. As we have discussed in our previous slide also, the first battle of Panipat was fought between the invading forces of Babur and the Lodi Empire, which took place on 21st April 1526 in North India. It marked the beginning of the Mughal Empire. This was one of the earliest battles involved gunpowder, firearms, and field artillery. Even though possessing the numerically superior army, Lodi's bravery could not match up to the expertise of Babur on the battlefield. He was a military genius, and modern technology and warfare led to the defeat of Lodi's nearly 50,000 troops at the hands of a mere 12,000 strong army, led to the victory of Babur and beginning of the Mughal Empire. Now let's have a look at battles fought by Babur after establishment of empire. Rana Sanga and Daulat Khan Lodi had hoped that Babur would return to Kabul after defeating the Delhi Sultan. However, having conquered Delhi, Babur decided to stay on in India. In 1527, Rana Sanga, angered by Babur's decision, formed a confederacy of Rajput princes and led them in battle against Babur. Babur and Rana Sanga met at the Battle of Khanwa near Fatehpur Sikri. Though Rana Sanga had a much larger force, Babur defeated them with his use of artillery and superior military tactics. These two victories put Babur firmly on the throne of Delhi. After defeating the Rajputs, Babur turned east and defeated the Afghans on the banks of the river Ghagra. Babur now controlled an empire which stretched from Kabul to present day Bihar. He made Delhi the capital of his empire. But Babur's rule was a very short note, lasting only 3 years. Babur died in 1530 century. So, my dear students, this was end of today's class. In today's class, we have learnt about who were Mughals and what led to foundation of Mughal Empire. See you in the next class with part 2 of this chapter. Stay safe, stay happy.